Hi everybody, my name is Shannon and welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Did you guys all have a good Christmas? If you celebrate Christmas, a great holiday, end of the year, reflecting back on everything that's going on, maybe planning things out that you're planning on or thinking about doing next year. I had a great Christmas. I really did. Family was over, and that is always so joyous. And we had friends over, and for the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, because that's how we celebrate. And today I was just exhausted. There's no other way to put it. I was down for the count. I mean, very blessed, very pleased to have had that. I had plans to do like a WIP Wednesday kind of a situation, maybe trying to put a little bit of love into one of my sweaters that doesn't have sleeves, because I have a few of those. There's not supposed to be vests. No, they're not. And I had ideas. What I wanted to do is grab one of my sweaters and put it on, because it's going to cover everything. It just doesn't have sleeves. So it's not like, you're not going to see anything. Let's put it that way, right? And put that on and kind of like do a little ballerina twirl, right? So you can see the front and the back and everything, and where I'm at with the sleeves, because I can put the, the cords in there or whatever, so I can still try it on and not worry about taking out stitches. That was my grandiose plan. Yeah, that didn't happen. No. No. I grabbed the sweater though. I did. I got the sweater, and in my mind, I got a lot done. I did. I had progress. I had lots of progress. But I look at my sweater and it didn't grow. Do you want to see the one I was talking about? Because especially if you're new here, I've gotten a lot of new subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. I had shown previously my sweater collection, semi-vest, right? And I think I've got, 5 or 6 sweaters that are in various stages of sleeves. Yeah. My next sweater, I'm going to do the sleeves first. I don't know if that's going to really help, because I do have one sweater where that's exactly what I did. I did the sleeves first, and now I'm at the body to where they connect right here, right? Like at the underarms and everything. And then I get to start doing all of this, and it didn't happen. This is store-bought. I didn't do this. Yeah. Okay, so purple. I like purple. My husband loves me in purple. I like the mustards. I like the autumn colors, and just those warm colors, the colors that go with the red hair. It's a mess, but whatever. The colors that go with this. That's what I like. Oh, look at that. Oh, look. Oh, I can do the hairdresser thing, right? You ever watch those things? You have that, and you're scrolling through whatever Facebook, and you see that stuff scroll through, and they always do this with the hair, because that's how you wear it. Like you're gonna have somebody with their hands in your hair all the time. That's creepy. Anyway, so this is my purple one. I'm using the Remix Light. And the color work was just so wonderful doing that. Here's the Remix Light. Has the purple. I don't know the color name of it, because, yeah, I don't have a ball band. But stunning. And I don't even know exactly when I started this. I do know it had bust darts in it. And, yeah, they're on the wrong side. I swear they're on the wrong side. So that was the other thing that I wanted to do, is to put it on and to show what I mean by they're on the wrong side. Because this right here should be the front, and this side here has the bumpy bits. Yeah. So this one has a little more room for the girls. Yeah. So I'm not thrilled with that, but I'm just going to have to go with it, right? It just, okay, that's fine. I'm not pulling it out. I'm not doing anything else. By the time I noticed or realized it, it's too late. It's not happening. And then let me see what I have on my sleeves. But I had ideas. So this one, I'm going to go probably 3/4 sleeve, because this is all the purple I have left. I'm not sure how far that'll go. I don't remember how many I used on this, because, whatever. I could weigh it. I have a scale. I could weigh it. But it's going to be the 3/4-ish sleeve. So my plan, yeah. Oh yeah, it's not even connected anymore, is it? No, it's not. Maybe. So this is on the just the little holders, right? Just, cords. And then I've already put the yarn over here, and I'm going to try to catch up. Yeah. I don't have that far. Look, I've only got that much yarn. That's actually quite a bit in this That's actually quite a bit in this. It doesn't look like it, but it really is. But I've got just that little bit, you know, and I was thinking, once I get to that length, I could just put a cuff on it. If I've got a bunch left over, I can maybe go back and make both of them a little bit longer, but I'm pretty sure I could just put a cuff on that and be done with it. So here's where I attached my yarn, right? You know, that's my little lifeline if I wanted to pull it back all the way to the beginning. I don't, but I could, right? And then I also have in my genius plan, because I don't have anything written down anywhere, I used to write them down. I should probably write things down again. Huh, that would be smart. Let's not get judgy. Okay, so this is, you're not gonna judge me, are you? I'm in a safe spot. I'm in my room. I'm in my yarn room. There's no judgment in my yarn room. I'm just saying. So on this one, you can see this green thread. This is just leftover sock yarn that happened to be sitting next to me. So what I have here is that's where I did my decreases all along the way. So no, I did not take notes as far as like a physical piece of paper that I could lose. But I did put those in there. So on this side, I can do the same thing. You know, so once I do that inch or so, I can start doing the decreases and you know, thread another random scrap piece of yarn through there. So then I'll know, well, did I do the even amount of decreases? My issue with this, I have a hard time with this fine tweed yarn counting my rows, because it is, you know, a small yarn, right? Let me look at that. It's a small yarn, right? Small yarn. So it's a small yarn on, I don't know, really tiny needles. Do I have a gauge thing around here? Yeah, whatever. I do, but yeah. Okay, I think these might be 2.5, maybe 3s. Yeah, something like that. So, you know, get the small needles, the small yarn. I have a hard time with my counting my rows. I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet, sit down, and stretch, you know, stretch the knitting as much as I can, and, you know, have a good light underneath it and start counting the rows. And that way I'll know how many rows before I do my decrease, and then count, you know, how many rows I did in between each decrease. And there's only a few days of work on this, right? It can't be much more than that, can it? I'd like to wear it. I mean, we're under a blizzard warning right now, you know, until like 5:30 a.m. or something like that. Whatever, in blizzard warning, you know, it's Colorado. It's weird. Yeah. Wish me luck. Oh, what else did I do? I did some waist shaping. Can you see that? You see? Oh, can we see that we did waist shaping? Yeah. And I think I even put the waist in the right spot. Yeah, I have another sweater, Noro sweater going on, and I just kind of went off the rails and just did a whole bunch of knitting and went, oh wait, it's a little bit too big. I want to do some waist shaping. I'm a big girl, but I do have a waist, okay? So, you know, yeah, I got rolls, but you know, some of them go in the right direction. Not all of them. So I put waist shaping in and everything, and I got all the way down, and I did some ribbing on it, and it was great, and I tried it on, and it was too far down is where I did the waist shaping. So then it gives me some unnatural bulges. Not good. So I've got to pull about 8-9 inches on that. It's a good thing I like knitting and everything, you know, and maybe I'll just set it down and go crochet a blanket. You know, it's like, I'm done, you know. And then, let's see, well, one of the other things with not working on this, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to pick it up. I have to. So I'm picking it up. This counts. This counts. It does. I picked it up. It counts. I'm counting it. I'm writing in my book. I did it. I picked up my purple sweater. I worked on it all up here. Did that thought process. But there's something else that I'm trying to work on, and I've got it noodling in my brain, you know, like a design, and I'm picturing it, and I want to put it into fruition, and I'm working on that. And if you've ever done something along that line, I mean, we're creative people. We've all done it to an extent. There's a lot of doing and undoing, right? So, you know, when you're doing that, there's not always a lot of progress that you see. You may be putting in a lot of stitches, but then you rip them all back out, right? You know, I mean, this is something that I had in my head too, and I'll be ripping this one out too. But you know, this is some of the gorgeous Arcane Fiberworks yarn that I got. This is the Saint Nick colorway, and yeah, so it's beautiful. Wasn't quite what I had in mind. I was working on it. I'm like, okay, but I have something in my head, right? You know, and it's like I want garter stitch and easy and you know, just a comfort knit, and yeah. So that's kind of got my time, but not ready to show it yet because it's just not, you know, I mean, that's what I've got, right? So I'm trying. So I don't know. One of the things for this year for planning out, I would like to do some designing. I have done designing. I have made my own patterns. I don't always write them down for others to be able to recreate and utilize. But it's something my husband has always talked about for quite a while. He said, well, you always said you want to do a book, work on a book. I'm not going there. I'm not saying I'm going to do a book. That's not what I'm getting at. But the whole concept is still getting your stuff out and actually doing patterns and writing things, which I love doing. I mean, I love making stuff, right? The issue with that, anyone who does that, well, there's some prolific designers, but I'm slower in that process. Trying to, for one, my drawing talent is not good. That is not where my talent lies. So for me, even trying to draw it down to, you know, doing that sketch of what I want my piece to look like, and then, you know, well, do I want sharp angles? Do I want color work? Do I want texture, cables, lace, crochet, knit, combination, something that has both crochet and knit? Those are all different things. And then, you know, do you want a smaller project like accessories? You know, obviously right now with it being winter time in Colorado, the gloves, the hats, the scarves, those types of accessories are great. Or sweaters, you know, like the Yoke sweater that I have on right now. Those are always fun and nice. But, you know, as far as designing, and then especially if you're going to do a garment like a sweater, then you would want to be able to grade it. And what I mean by that is, what are the sizes? You know, because not everyone's me. Not everyone's my size, right? So there would be a lot of things, if you were to make a sweater, you would want to make a lot of them smaller than you and sizes quite a bit larger than you, because we all come in different sizes, right? You know, so I've got that noodling around in my head, you know, with the new year coming along. And it's like, what am I planning on doing just in my crafting world, right? But I think I'm about ready to start making some other things, trying to branch out and come up with my own patterns again. I have in the past, and I've given them to other designers, you know, I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead and brand it under your thing. And I have done that. But I think maybe I might want to do that for me. And I don't really know all of what that entails beyond making it, you know, marketing, whatever, you know, just putting it out there and saying, hey, I made this thing, want it, want to make it, you know, something along that line. So that's eaten a lot of my time, that and just the whole holiday. I'm telling you, if you've been around for a while, you've heard me talk about it. Traditionally, because I have tracked in previous years, you know, like on Ravelry and things like that, I have tracked how many projects I made in a year, how much yarn I've used, you know, just, and I did that for a few years in a row. I haven't done it in quite a while, but I have done it in the past. And there was a trend. These last few months are my biggest production months for historically. They really are. And then right after Christmas to New Year, I start to dwindle down. And, you know, just, I'm still working. I'm still working on my stuff, but nowhere near the production. And then around July-ish is when I start to get back into that and start ramping back up. And then it gets into that crazy. So it's almost like I do a year's worth of stuff in 3 months, you know. It is absolutely insane. And I'm feeling it. I really am. It's been a lot. And this is no different than any other year. Yes, I have the channel and you guys get to see it. But trust me, it's no different than any other year. This is my trend. This is, you know, this is the historical. If I were able to pull back some of those spreadsheets that I did, because I'm a little bit of a geek and I put it on a spreadsheet. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think I've got some of those spreadsheets still too, you know, but that's where the majority of my projects come in. And now I'm trying to think of, okay, what's my next thing? Because I mean, I'm here and I've got all this beautiful colors all around me. And besides the project that I am working on, I did start something, but I'm not sure where I'm going with it, so I'm not ready to share it. But besides that, you know, I'm just seeing all the colors, and do I want to do how do I want to incorporate all of that? What direction do I want to go in for me personally? And it's another interesting one too, because I realize I'm very much a process knitter now. It wasn't always that way. And what I mean by that is I just like the ability to have the stuff. And when I say knit, it's, for me, it's both. It's not just knitting, you know, it's crafting, you know, it's yarn, process, yarn, working. And it doesn't matter if I'm just knitting, or crocheting. It really doesn't. It's having that in my hands. That's what I grew up with, and working on something. And I'll slow down when there's that decision. I'll slow down, like with a sweater. This stalled because I realized I had issues, maybe it's probably my lighting, of how many rows do I need to do before I start on the other one? You know, so the fact that I have the needles on it, that's good. That's a start. But, you know, it's like, I don't want to think about it. I just want to do it. That's why with the Boggy Creek blanket that I was working on, and, you know, doing the granny square stitch, and then going into the virus pattern. Okay, those are easily memorized. That's, to me, just on autopilot. That's autopilot. It might look complicated. It might look whatever, but it's autopilot. Some of the hats that I've made recently, even the ones with the lace, except for that one with the green sequins, beautiful, but that sequin yarn was a pain. But even that lace hat, because I made 3 of those, was autopilot. It doesn't look like it would be an autopilot. It doesn't look like it would be simple, easy. It was autopilot. It really was. You know, and that's what I like. I like to do that. I'll get into the decision making and doing some other things, but, you know, just let me do my thing, right? You know, I'm going to knit, I'm going to crochet, I'm going to make something, but in my brain, it's autopilot. I know it sounds crazy, right? That's just what it is. So I'm trying to push that a little bit. So creating some of my own objects a little bit more, and creating my own objects isn't the issue. I mean, I got this little orange guy right here, that one, right? That was my own, right? But I had no illusions of writing that down. I had no illusions that that was going to be a shared pattern. I'm talking about creating something that I'm writing down that somebody else would be able to follow. That's different. This little guy didn't bother me. I'm like, I just made it. Just, you know, no illusions of sharing. So doing that, and the decision making, and how to write something that's easy to understand and comes across, because, well, you know, I mean, I've been crocheting for 40 plus years and knitting for, I don't know how many, 25, 30, something like that. So things that are second nature to me aren't always. They're just not. You know, things that I'm like, well, yeah, I've been doing that for a decade. And you're like, well, I've only started 3 years ago, so help me out. I'm like, oh, here, let me help you. So try to come up with things along that line. That's what I'm working on. So definitely stay tuned to see where this journey, because it is a journey, is going to take me, and what comes about. Oh my gosh, I'm so tongue twisted. And where I go with that. If you have any ideas on things that you would like to see, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to create it. That's disclaimer. But if you have something that, you know, you're like, oh, I've wanted this, throw it out there. Maybe it's something that I've done in the past or what have you. I'm going, oh yeah, I've done that. Here, let me write that out. Never know. It might be fun. We can do a collaboration or something along that, right? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and go work on what I was working on earlier. And I touched this, so it counts. Yeah, I did. I touched it. It counts. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that and everything. And I will talk to you guys again later. Bye-bye.